Well, I am not kidding you. When we said mission accepted, and you're going to hear about some incredible people doing incredible things, let me tell you what this segment is called. It is called All In. So every single one of these people that you're going to hear from today go all in. They've gone all in, they go all in, they continue to go all in. It's called mission accepted for a reason. You take the mission, and look, if you're out there taking a mission, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know exactly what we're talking about, because if you're still listening to us, you're probably still crazy enough to continue doing what you're doing. So let's hear from some people that are doing what they're doing. All of these people have been VIPs. That's very important people. They've been red carpeting. They've been showing up. They've been sponsoring events. And they do what we call in our other world, stand up, speak up, and showing up. And they're helping others do the same. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. That is a different kind of bravery. Entrepreneurship is a different kind of bravery. When we go into the thesaurus and look up bravery, there should just be a picture of someone going, I don't know. How did I get into this? Who talked me into this, right? So let's hear from all of these incredible people. And I'm telling you who I'm going to co-host with today. Now, you know, you're like, co-host? You've never co-hosted before. Well, that's because this guy, we finally captured him for an hour, flying around the world, doing his thing. Hollywood and more, Mr. Brian Sebastian. Thank you for being on Mission Accepted today. You are incredible. Now, look, we talk about you, but I'm going to do the same thing you did to me last night. I want you to tell us a little bit about what you do and some of the people that you've hung out with. So we're so appreciative for you being here today, for our sponsors, our VIP. And Brian, all these people wanted to meet you, and guess what? They are.
Well, I got to thank everybody, because I'm bummed I didn't get a chance to get to Vancouver. I had an issue with my mom, family issue. You know, I never get a chance to hang out with her because I was always busy for 35, almost 40 years doing celebrity interviews, doing events around the country and outside the U.S. So now that I'm kind of I'm actually retired. I've been warning people for 2 years I was going to retire. Nobody believed me. So I always say this: I do what I say. I'm saying what I'm going to do. And I want to thank Mark. Good seeing you, Mark. Bonnie Harris chiming in last night. I recognize Irene. Some of the people I'm on here, I'm starting to follow you, and vice versa. Thank you for that. I don't take it for granted, and I do pay attention to all you people. So, and Vancouver is, no matter what, remind the people of the United States, you are the Hollywood up north. Remind them that, because they've forgotten. Hey, X-Files was going there in the 90s for a reason, right? Everything was being shot there. I remember, because I had to do all of those interviews with the governor and everybody. Yeah. So I'm Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. We are one of the best outlets, TV, radio, podcasts in the world. Number 4 on Elite's magazine, Variety, top 9, 13, 17, 19. I've never submitted a show. And if I did submit a show, I guarantee you we'd be in the top 5. Now that we are in the top 5. But we would really be there because I've never submitted a show. How would we fall on these lists? I have no idea. But I'm taking it and I'm running with it because it's called branding and marketing. And we will go from that. Right, Deb?
Absolutely. And you know what? It's because of that. It's because of that. You know what? You have a huge heart. You know, we know the rooms that you've sat in. And for you, it's about the story. And for you, it's about the story. It's the human experience. So let's get into that a little bit. Let's talk about the human experience, about going all in, being entrepreneurial, taking the risks. You know, if you know anything about this show at all, it's a little James Bondy. So feel free to be James Bondy in your answers today. And look at Amanda, we are going to start with you. So here's how it's going to work. These incredible people are going to say their name. They're going to say their company. They're going to say how long they've been in their company. And the first question that we're going to ask is, what is the scariest part of your business now? Where are you taking the biggest risk? What's going on when you're like, ooh, what's making your heart sing a little bit right now? So Amanda, let's start with you, Miss Amanda Taylor.
Yeah, Amanda Taylor, one of my companies, the one I'm most focused on right now, Expand Your Empire. I have been in business in entrepreneurship since 2017. And let's see, the scariest thing in my business right now is I just launched my podcast, I guess, and it is coming from a very authentic place out into the world, and putting that voice out there on YouTube and every streaming platform to millions and millions of people is always a scary place to be. But hey, I'm learning from the best, right?
All right, let's go around. Okay, what's scary? Mr. Shiraz.
Hey, I'm Shiraz, and my company is Energetic Magic. I've been in business about 10 years, and the scariest thing I've done is last week I actually did my first 3-day event. That's actually an industry term, 3-day event. And because my coach said do a 3-day event, and I'm like, what? And so the thing I've learned is every year you got to do something scary or you're not doing really much with your business. So that was the big thing for this year. I'm taking a break, relaxing for a bit, and then deciding on the next big scary thing.
Right. Big, scary, audacious goals. And Liz.
Hi, my name is Liz Gall-Lerner. Your Inspired Choices is my business. The scariest thing in my business right now is that I've been in business for 40 years. um, the scariest thing, although I've been coaching for 20 years, shifting my income stream fully from clinical work to coaching and book promotion is a leap I am thrilled about, and it is a bit terrifying.
There you go. There's a new word, terrifying. And Ocean, how about you?
Yeah, I've been in business for 6 years. I started when I was 15, and I'm 21 now, but my company's called Natsukashi Inc. And one big scary thing I think is going to happen in this upcoming year is the fashion show that we got invited for in October. So from doing one show to the next show and having people be there that is a like big names is definitely a bit scary considering like Capitol Record and like Dave Chappelle, like those kind of names are going to be there. So that would be amazing. And being asked to be one of the designers is really, really uh, awesome and like inspiring.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm sure. All right. Deshaun.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Deshaun White, also known as DJ D Smooth. And yes, I'm a DJ. My company name is Smooth Entertainment LLC. And I've been officially in business for 3 years, been DJing for about 5 to 6 years now. And yeah, the hardest, or I would say the riskiest thing that we've done in our business recently is me going full time as a DJ. So that's a move that we made just about a month ago. And providing for a wife and 2 kids is something that motivates me every single day to get on my feet and make this reality now a continuous reality. So yeah, that's my biggest thing going on right now.
These are big leaps. I mean, people listen to these decisions that people make. Trust me, they don't come without some nerves and maybe a couple of coaches. Okay, Melissa.
Hi there, beautiful souls. Melissa Heathers here. I am the international author of Dear Ego, Dear Heart. My company is Soul Secrets. It's actually been in business for about 5 years. It manifested into authorship instead of what I thought it would. For me, I've been in the actual authorship part of it for about 10 months, also speaking now and podcast host. The scariest moment for me right now is leaning in. I mean, AKA all in to all the possibilities that are opening right now and the decision to what's next to grow my business and brand of self-love while remaining grounded to my heart's desires, which will be hopefully full-time authorship.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. And Mark.
Mark Carter, my business is 180, been in business 20 years. And the biggest leap I've made recently is I used to work on big projects like mentoring programs, full on conferences, a lot of moving parts. Some I liked, some I didn't. And I pared down recently and said, I'm just going to spend the rest of my life doing what I love on stage and online. And that's interviewing people and running mastermind experiences. Took a leap of faith and said, we're going to monetize this, make a damn good living, just doing only what I absolutely love. And so far it's starting to pay off. It just took some time.
All right. Woo, jumping into the love bucket. That's awesome. And Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Holt, and I am a women's leadership catalyst, and I coach women to become magnetic leaders. And it's good to see everybody. This is kind of a get to see everybody since Vancouver. But my scariest moment is happening now, and that is that I took the leap into creating my own TV show. Holt takes the lead, and I'm doing that with Deb's women's channel on Easy Way TV. And it's scary, but it's exciting. And we have to live in the evolution zone.
Wow. Ooh, I love that evolution zone. Someone hashtag that baby. All right, Lavada.
Hi, my name is Laveda. I go by Ms. England. I have had my organization for 14 years. I am a nonprofit and I am a master mentor. And that's because I teach women how to master themselves clearly, get some clarity. And the scariest thing right now is because I really am into single moms and young ladies is the fact that um, taking that transition and just really standing flat foot, 10 toes deep, and still continue to ride that wave of encouraging moms, single moms in a ever-changing society.
All right.
Oh, and the name of my organization is House of Restoration Community Connections.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. And Carol.
Oh my goodness, it's so cool to be here. Carol Patrizi, many businesses all underneath carolpatrizi.com to learn about them. The biggest leap and the scariest leap right this minute is that I have made this huge decision to not only embrace AI, but to use it in 150 languages to go global, to share and to make sure millions of people realize they matter. Every one of us and every one of them, they matter. Their stories matter. Their purposes matter. And this is a global, I'm covered in chills movement and doing it in every way and just scared, thrilled, and so excited.
Yeah, scared, thrilled, making leaps. We talk about that, right? Niching down, expanding more, all of it. And Miss Bonnie Harris.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here. My name is Bonnie Harris. I'm known as your hair and scalp queen. I am a brand partner with a global beauty company called Modern Nature. I am a product educator focusing on scalp health. And I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, but I just jumped into this business after surviving liver cancer. I had to switch to non-toxic. So I've been doing this for 8 years. Oh my gosh, so scary, I'm being honest, public speaking. I am terrified of this, but I keep telling myself we're just FaceTiming with our friends, right? This is amazing. But this year, right now, this is the biggest, scariest thing I've ever done. After meeting Deb, she has thrown me into, I don't want to say the wolves because, we're friendly, but doing all the things, going to Vancouver, never been out of the country by myself, doing podcasts, like all of this is so scary. Can I just say one really quick thing? Because I just want to emphasize what Carol said. If I'm true to myself, my scariest thing is meeting my maker when I'm dead and him introducing me to the Bonnie that I never became because I was too scared to say yes.
Wow, very well said. Very well said. And over to Irene.
Hi, everyone. I'm Irene Hogan. I'm a pharmacist, a menopause expert, and I'm author of this book, Hot Chicks, Hot Sex, How to Survive Menopause. I help women in midlife balance their hormones, regain their energy, and yes, feel vibrant, confident, and sexy again. What was my scariest moment was right at the very beginning when I went on my own and enabled me to become an entrepreneur. I was made redundant in my mid-50s after running a very, very successful women's health program in a small community pharmacy, and we were bought out by a huge conglomerate. And so it was like, what do I do? Do I apply for another job? So I really took a leap of faith. It was really like I was scared. I was terrified. I'd never been without a job in my life before. And I decided to bet on myself and make my mission to help women. So that was one of the scariest, but also the most liberating and free decisions that I made in my life to start my own business.
Oh my goodness. I so appreciate you starting off this show all in and being vulnerable, because people out there are exactly where all of you are at different stages. And this is just going to get super, as Irene would say, this party's going to get sexy. So Brian, I'm going to pass the next question over to you.
So I want to do this differently. I always go by energy. I like how everybody's introduced themselves, but I want you to tell me where you're from, what country, what state, county, whatever, because I love that, because I might be visiting you. You just don't know. And the whole thing, it's going to be 30 seconds left. And I got to say this, my scariest thing was not knowing the rules of when I walked in to do my first couple interviews. 35, 40 years ago. Nobody told me, you know, when you're sitting around a round table interviewing celebrities, don't have ice in your water cup because they will start chewing on the ice and making sound, having clean sound bites, turning off the air conditioning where it's hot inside and making them uncomfortable, things like that. You guys made me think about all of these things. Irene, I need to have you on a show. I'd like to have you on Tuesday coming up. If you, because I when I met you last at the Oscars gifting suite, you left an imprint on me. I love that. All my female friends are going to menopause. Some of them have started going through it again, which doesn't make any sense to me. Some of them didn't even know they had it, and I knew they had it. So what does that tell you about me? It's like a straight black guy who knew all of this stuff more than some of my female friends did. So I've got to say that. So this is the next question, and it would be, if you only had one thing to secure a business that you loved and you had a long-term success with it, what would it be? Let's start with Irene first.
So I think I agree with what you just said, that you have to love your business, okay? You have to be passionate about something. It has to be something that lights you up. Because for me, passion and persistence just grows your business. And your clients will trust you, and you'll just grow without doing anything. But if you're not passionate about it, if it doesn't give you such great satisfaction that there's nothing else you'd rather be doing, then you shouldn't be in that business. So it's passion and purpose and persistence.
Absolutely. I love that answer. That's a great answer too. Bonnie, thank you for chiming in last night. I did pay attention to these things. I love seeing comments. Talk about you. What's yours?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm from Southern California, if you asked where we were from. But the one thing I would say is you have to base your business around values and your vision, not just around money. If you have to stay aligned with your why, what gives you your resilience, because you're going to be going through some ups and downs. Entrepreneurship is hard. So you always have to go back to your vision, go back to your why, and stay close to, your values and standards.
I love that. I love your background, and I love your green. Aqua green blue is my favorite color, so you're good in my book too. Deb, You're not getting out of this. What is yours? You didn't know I was going to ask you. What's yours?
No, I didn't. So look, I'm up here in Hollywood North, as Brian would say. I'm up here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where a lot of you just came and visit. The one thing that I believe that you have to do to have long-term success, you know what? I think you have to have faith in faith. Where I believe I'm playing now in my business, it's like, it's not just about having faith. I have to believe that there's this thing called faith. So really getting to a place where I trust no matter what.
And the thing about this, a lot of people don't tell you, you could be going down the road, but right around that corner, you could hit the jackpots. But it could be a long corner. But I always tell people, no one tells you how long it's going to be when you're going to hit. And there's no time limit. So some people, and I was a late bloomer. My shaman said I was a late bloomer. Thank goodness she told me that in 1993, because I was like, what's going on? I'm giving up. This doesn't make any sense. There's no rules. No one's been telling me anything. That's sad. However, there's no time when you're going to make it. It could happen tomorrow. It all depends who you meet. And obviously, everybody just wants that opportunity. So, Carol, you're next, because the reason for this is you're stylish to me. You remind me of my female friends in Tennessee. They have the hat, they have the big glasses, you stand out, and I like that.
First of all, thank you so much. I am in Houston, Texas, and I love Texas.
I knew it. I knew you were Southern.
You're correct, and loved the show last night, by the way. We listened to the whole thing. And I'll tell you what, I believe with all my heart. First of all, I think that it is about lift it up, put it out there, ask for wisdom, and my faith, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I beg and plead for wisdom, and I try to stay very present, take one step at a time, and collaborate, get with people that want to support one another. This group, 262, you people that want to help and support you, collaborate, help others grow together, and be persistent. It's okay. Take that next step. Overwhelm yay, it means you're on the verge of learning something. And just stay there, breathe, collaborate, and, step out in faith. And it's going to work out. Back to what Irene started with, if we are passionate and we love what we do, it is going to work out. Next right thing, next right thing, next right thing, and right people like this amazing group right here. Thank you for asking, Brian.
And by the way, I'm always in Houston, Texas, because one or two of my co-hosts from there, Chef Rachel Roberts and Trixie Gwen with Custom Trends. So when I go back there, you and I are getting together, and I will talk to you about some things there.
Let's do it.
Next up, now I get to the guys. See, if you noticed, the women went first, right? Did anybody pay attention? It's all about you women, because without you women, us guys don't create, we don't create like you guys can create. I say that because it's true. And if it weren't for women, we would not be where we are in the world of our stuff, which leads me to Mark. So Mark, you and I had a great conversation not too long ago, and it was fascinating because he reached out to me. And I don't know if he knew I was going to give him the time of day. He looked kind of scared. I'm like, no, if you reach out to me, my job is to reach back out to you. And a lot of people don't do that, and it is wrong. So Mark, I want to thank you because I haven't forgotten our conversation. So the next question is to you. What say you on this?
Don't start with the money and trying to figure out how to make it. Follow your passion that leads you to your purpose, and then connect your purpose to money. And what I found a way to make it not so woo-woo, if you will, and people say, well, what's purpose? If you make your purpose to solve problems for other people, and you find problems that you can genuinely help them solve with authenticity and good energy, people pay to make problems go away. They gladly pay to make problems go away. It's not like you're selling and pitching and grabbing their money. If you say, this is my purpose in life, to make your life easier in this arena, and you're a coach and you can solve a problem, they're going to pay you and they're going to be happy they did. And you can live a higher purpose in life than just chasing the money.
And, one of the other fascinating things about Mark was he has if you can see it, a Spawn figurine in the back. And I told him I interviewed Todd McFarlane. So we talked about that and a little bit of Comic-Con. So I know who he wants to meet and all that, and I will make that happen for them. Thank you, Mark. All right,
Thank
Melissa, you're fascinating to me for some reason. I don't know why yet, but I like what you're doing. Let's talk about you. It could be her hair, could be her glasses, it could be the shirt that she's wearing too.
All about the love, baby. All about the love. Thank you, everybody here. Like, I'm already learning so much, and I'm like everything everyone's saying from faith and all of that, like so grateful. For me, it's adding value so you can show up and for yourself first and foremost, and then for your clients or your customers. And I think when you add value, you can gain that clarity that you need, again, for yourself and for your clients. As an entrepreneur, I'm a firm believer one can have a deeper understanding of adding value when you really know your market, your movement, your purpose. And that doesn't always come. I'm living proof. Like, I'm literally living it moment for moment, as Carol says, connecting with God and higher source. But as a customer, I really believe in companies and the importance of companies that really put their values out there first and foremost before they even put their product or movement out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like that. Women-owned companies, small business, which is really what started us off in the world of dressage and the world of bodybuilding, because they never got their due in the media. They still don't. When I go to, Mr. Olympia next month in Vegas, there's a lot of these fitness women. They're award winners. They spend a lot of money. There's no media there. They will see Muscle Magazine, Bodybuilders Magazine. I'll be the only one from outside of their world who comes in, who has more viewers than they do around the world. However, it's like this, and people forget you got to reach out like this. And that's one thing that Deb does. This is what I like. I think I'm going to start being on more of these things with you guys because I like this fascinating group, which leads me to the next guy. He's colorful. I like his name. And, we didn't get a chance to meet, but we were going to. Charles, talk about who you are and that question.
So I am Shiraz, and I am from Toronto, Canada. And for me, the thing I've realized is every person in the world wants to be seen, understood, loved, and part of a community. So when you make your clients feel that way, they stick around. They talk to other people, and your business grows. And I do that as a coach, And it doesn't matter if you're a coach because people will buy an Apple product because they're like, they get me. They will buy clothing lines because this is me. So when you get that's what's driving your clients, and you can make them feel that way through your services, your product, they are yours for life.
I like that. And I like the painting because it's all about art and energy. And I believe you go by energy, don't you?
I do.
I could feel
What
it.
he's called energetic magic.
Mm-hmm. So next we go to the neighborhood woman. I love this name because it stands out, and that gets my attention right away. And I love her books, and I see Deb's book in the back to the left side of her. So I'm paying attention to people's background. And I said, never mind my background. It doesn't matter because I'm never in the same place. But for everybody else, that's what gets my attention because I'm always looking in the background.
Well, thank you very much. I actually forgot to change my name because that's one of the nonprofits that I help. So it's a National Congress.
Hey, it works. It works. It got my attention.
Good.
It works.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Well, I think for long-term success, we have to know ourselves. And in my book, Unstoppable Women, Owning Our Voices and Leading Change, that's one of the first things I talk about is self-reflection. Because if we're with ourselves 24/7, if we don't know ourselves, we're not going to know anybody, and we better know ourselves well. So I think that if you know your values and your strengths, and you can use them as a lens for making your decisions about your business, about your life, then I think you live more authentically, you live more fulfilled, and you also know when to say yes because you know where you want to have your impact. You know what you want to do in the world and what you want to do for others. So I really do think that it's the self-reflection and it's knowing yourself and knowing those values and strengths because those, what do we stand for? That's where we should go.
I love that message, and that's great. All right, this next guy, this young guy, he fascinates me. Ocean, I'm talking about you. Yes, you. It's one of those things where you're on the right track. So since this is not your mom talking to you, this is your brother talking to you. Yes, I called you my brother. So the good thing about this, imagine what's going to happen to you because the last person who came out of Calgary, Weekly Chris, the Collins families, 35 million followers. You're on the right track that he is. And I learned a lot from him. And a lot of people are going to learn a lot from you. Stay there, stay young, stay happy, and never mind your mom manager. She's on the right track doing that, but she's still your mom. So I can tell you things that she's not going to tell you. What do you say on that question? Because you're the youngster in this group.
Well, I'm from Vancouver, but to that question, I'd say don't be afraid to learn new things and be able to be patient in time, which is like very key. I think that's like something that I definitely had to learn for sure was like to be patient, especially on the road from like wanting to do this at 12 to finally be able to do that at 15 and then going to learn like how do I pursue this. I think that's something a lot of people should like realize is like don't be afraid to learn new things and take a chance and try out new things, see what works and meet new people. And I've met a lot of interesting people and connections through this journey to help us continue where we're going. Even like we did the Kids Fest, which is in Vancouver here, and we met like a lot of new people and they had connections. So we worked with this company and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So yeah, I'd say like, don't be afraid to try learn new things on this road.
And you're learning a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, especially going to new countries and stuff, like going to like LA, and that's where I met you. And so yeah, that it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
And so the next shows leading up to your October 18th event, I'm going to start showing little things here and there. So these people will come out to help support you because I see you growing. And
Thank
that
you.
leads me to the next young lady, Ms. England. Now, I find this young lady fascinating. I don't know her yet, but there's something about her. Tell me something about me, why I like you.
Well, I think I beat society norms. I was a teenage mom raised by a drug addict mom, became a functional alcoholic myself, and I'm here today. And usually society say that I would not be here. And going because Kathy even answered it the way that I would answer it. It's like knowing yourself. And the reason why I am so flat-footed on in regards to staying with moms is because we have our emotional turbulence, we have our mental discourse just like everyone else. But we're also the ones that, are the nurturers and doing everything else And oftentimes we forget about ourselves. We carry everybody else. So knowing self, and I'm so focused on knowing my passion, knowing my power, knowing which is my superpower, and then knowing my purpose. I think it's just really, really important in helping to move your business forward. Because, like Kathy said, if you don't know when to say yes, and if you don't know when to say no, that can lead into a lot of issues. And so,
And where are you from?
I am right here in sunny San Diego, California.
All right. That's good to hear that. Now, the one thing about single Black women, they are tough. They don't get any tougher than them. And a lot of these kids will tell you, what do they first want to do besides go to Disneyland? They want to buy their mom a house because it's the mom that went through all kinds of struggles, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hopes. Yes.
Which leads me to being, I started off as a DJ. So DJ Smooth, I understand what you're talking about and where you're coming from. When I was the disc jockey in traditional radio, there was only so many markets to get to. So I was always the Black DJ working in white clubs, if you can imagine that, where they wouldn't let minorities come in. I imagined that in Connecticut, no matter what. So I never forgot that, being that outsider, which I still am, that outsider, and not being allowed in. I like what you're doing. I saw the photos of what you're doing. What's the answer to your question?
Yeah, so I'm a kid from Cleveland, but I'm actually living here in Utah right now, and I'm loving it. So to answer your question there, I think it's okay to accept the fact that we're a little crazy. We're entrepreneurs, and that's not for everybody. And I think that your dreams are going to be a lot different than a lot of other people's dreams, and to know that they may be a little bit different in the way that you feel is more positive, accept it. It's okay that conversations are a little bit awkward on the other person's behalf. Be who you are, accept who you are, and be coachable. I love what Ocean said about that. I think that's so huge. If I didn't dream as big as I did or listen to the right people, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I just think, obviously listening more than we speak is, I think, a true rule here on earth. And yeah, I think that's the best answer that I can give a young entrepreneur or an older entrepreneur in today.
And think about this. Think where DJs go today. They get paid millions of dollars. A good one. One of my friends, one of my old co-hosts is DJ Bad Ash, country singer. She's open for Cardi B, Snoop, everybody out there. So that's what I like. I like where the world of DJs have come, because you guys didn't have that opportunity. I should say we did not have those opportunities back in the day. Now you have them. So congratulations on that, and keep doing what you're doing.
Much love.
So I always love the name Liz, followed by Amanda and Carmen. You're not getting out of this either. Liz, let's talk about this, because you women are shining lights. I love the smiles. I love the energies. There's something about this group. I don't know how Deb got all you guys, but Liz, what say you?
So, guidance, really. I mean, the biggest decisions that I've made that have been the most aligned and worked have been about guidance. My book, Divorce Well and Thrive, I was told, write the book. I think you have to be true to yourself, true to your mission. For me anyway, being in alignment with purpose is key. Being of service is key. So I think surrounding yourself with people who get you, tell you the truth, will criticize you, will give you information, finding the right mentor, really having a community of people that are going to help that business move forward. But really, you need to know your wisdom. You need to know your vision. You need to know your purpose. That's my guiding light.
I love that, because it's almost like I practice Buddhism. I've been practicing for almost 35 years. Yeah, and I didn't think about that. But it was one of those things you were telling me about that, and I felt I had to tell you that, because it's about energy, being able to adapt and adjust. That's the new way of doing things, and everybody has the equal footing. They just don't realize it, and sometimes they don't have anybody to guide them. So reach out. This is where you reach out. Deb's, 262. I mean, that's great. I wish I was a woman sometimes, with all you female energies and all the stuff that's going on. And I have more female energy because I hang around with you, someone, and it's called menopause for a reason, right? So Amanda, you're next. Carmen, you're coming up, so you better have something. All right, talk about this. Go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah,
go.
and I will say I'm going to go a little bit different route because I am a business coach. And yes, loving what you do is essential, but I would say for sustainable success, build it on systems and not on willpower. I mean, love alone will not carry you through market shifts, through burnout, through growing pains. What creates the longevity in your business is that structure and those systems, because without it, you can be really passionate, but then you can end up being the bottleneck in your own business. So do what you love, but if you want to do it for decades, make sure that it is a well-oiled, self-sustaining machine.
I love that. And you have a great look, and I love your tattoo. So
Oh,
just your energy and your smile goes a long way too. Carmen, the reason I'm picking on you because I have a female engineer named Rebel. If it weren't for my engineer, I was specifically wanted the woman's touch, her view, and I don't have to tell her anything. She just goes for it. So I go, women behind the scenes kick ass. Carmen, let's talk about you. You get the same question to you. I know you're busy doing stuff, but I want to hear from you.
Ooh, Carmel's been put on the spot. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I was not planning to speak.
Oh yeah, I know. I wasn't either.
And that's why I chose you.
No one can even see me.
That's okay. We got your pretty photo.
You got my pretty photo up there. Okay. Yeah, I'm usually busy listening in the background. I think don't be afraid to pivot. That's been the big thing for me. So many times I was like, oh God, what will people think if I change my tack here? And I've done lots of changing. And it's gotten me to where I am, and it's certainly not my final destination, but it's gotten me into this community and meeting some amazing people. I have a bunch of different things that I do, and I love the work that I do right now. So yeah, just not being afraid to pivot is really important. Not worrying that what people are going to think about you because you're making a change, and it could be a big change. It could be a business name change. It could be a complete career change. Just don't be afraid of that if that's where you're pulled. Yeah.
See, I love that. See, Deb, the reason why I did it that way, because I was looking at faces. I get a chance to do that, and I go by energy, and I love what everybody says. And it makes me so happy because, again, I don't do this for me. It's not Brian Sebastian. It's movie reviews and more, and it's all the women. I'm behind the scenes, and I like it that for a reason, because in the old days, as being a disc jockey, we were behind the scenes, and they used to say we have a face for radio. Well, that's how I still look at that, like that. Put the women up front, let them shine because they deserve it. Let me be the puppet master, sort of like the Wizard of Oz behind the green curtain, except it's working.
Honey, you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you hang around long enough, which you have, there is a sense, well, have faith in the faith, right? Okay, you know what? I know, because I can hear our audience is so dedicated. We are so grateful to our podcast audience. I cannot tell you how dedicated they are to us, and we are to them, and grateful. So we have just filled up their hearts, and their hope meter is way up here. Now, it's going to be difficult because it is difficult to do one thing. And it doesn't have to be the thing, but one thing that it's like, what not to do. What not to do. And this is because every show we go on, we hear about what to do and how amazing it is when you do it and all of those things. But there's things that we've done. Now, you're not, maybe someone's do. Don't get caught up in that. Something that was your not, something that might have held you back. So let's and it's great. It's clarity. We're going to go, right? So Amanda, we're going to start with you. So what not to do when building a business?
I think Carmel stole it. Do not get attached to the outcome.
Right on.
That's it.
Right on. Shiraz?
Do not go it alone. I started off alone, small steps, careful steps. Now that I have coaches with the event I just did last week, end of the day 2, one sale. My coaches were there. I had people calling me up saying, how can I support? End of day 3, multi 6-figure event. So
awesome.
There you go. That's a not do it alone. Thank you so much for sharing that. Liz?
Don't procrastinate. I built so many things and waited and right time, right this. Like, don't procrastinate. Just do it. Just do. Act.
Do. Someone wear a swoosh. Okay, let's take it to swoosh over because Ocean has gone and made a pair of Nikes. So, Ocean, what not to do when building a business?
What not to do during a business? I mean, there's definitely some things that you shouldn't do, but I think, yeah, like yet again, I think like like um, don't be afraid to learn new things. I think learning is like a big key. Don't be too impatient. I said that as well. That's like another thing I really live by. And also like trying like be able to try new things. Make something fun with somebody else, like collaborations work. We've done so many of those, and those are always so fun to do. And like getting their view on it, and so like and also like podcasts like this. Like don't be try. I really at beginning was not a fan of like podcasts, and so get trying it out, and it helps you get your name out there a lot and stuff, and seeing what other people have gone through, and maybe it could help you out. So yeah, I say trying new things is a big key. Don't be afraid to try new things.
That's cool. That's cool. And I love that. Don't be afraid to collaborate, right? I mean, don't be afraid. That's the whole competition thing is gone and done. And the DJ in the room, what do you got to say?
I would say don't compare yourself to others.
Mm,
And with that as well too, if you are a competitive person, I'm a competitive person. You may see people as competition, but let's change that mindset. If you feel like you want to outperform somebody, or let's say you don't want nothing to do with that person, but you want to outperform them, don't be afraid to ask for help and go hire a coach so you can make it happen. So I would say those are the two biggest things there.
right on. Thank you so much. Melissa, what not to do?
Become fearful of the uncertainty, really have the bravery to go all in and explore all the avenues that are opening or have opening to grow your business or brand. I think, like coming from my spiritual world, fear is what conquers us as humans, and I call it the commander, aka fear. It can be a really, really strong force, especially when it faces uncertainty, and it will tell your mind different stories to stay in that fear. So, and really at the end of the day, building a business is what uncertain, like the definition of uncertainty and what it's kind of all about.
Very cool. Thank you. And Mark, what not to do, my friend?
I would definitely say don't have a plan B. You have a North Star with the business. You're going to change directions. You're going to go the long way. You're going to go the short way. You're going to go every way in between. But as soon as you get that, if I don't do it in 2 years, I'm just going to give up and get a corporate job. As soon as you create a plan B, you're setting yourself up to give up.
Ooh, setting yourself to give up. That's cool. And Kathy, what not to do?
I would say that don't wait to be confident, because in reality, courage comes before confidence. That's what breeds confidence. So don't wait for that, because it's like riding a bike. You don't wait until you think you can ride a bike or you're confident about riding a bike. You get on, you wobble, you might fall, you get back up and you go. And that's how you gain confidence about riding a bike. And then you do crazy things on your bike, because I see them doing it all the time. But so, don't think you have to be 100% confident to start something. Just do it.
Says the woman who is launching her television show. So she is walking her talk. That is for darn sure. All right, Miss England.
So I'm going to say, don't be afraid to take a different direction, because sometimes we grow up in, I'll just use the word communities, and everyone may be doing the same thing one way, but maybe your intuition or your wisdom or your vibrations may lead you into a different path. Don't be afraid to go the path.
You're afraid to go the path. All right. Lady from Texas wearing a hat, doing all that. Oh, hey.
Listen, y'all stolen a lot of what I was going to
rap. Someone's gonna rap.
say so much. I'd like to, but I want to tell y'all, everybody has said so many good things, but please, please, let's give up perfection.
Oh, yeah.
Let's embrace growth and learning and give up perfection. My God Almighty, because we're not going to get it.
There you go.
And so let's just give one another grace and give up perfection and just take one step of what not to do. Don't try to be perfect.
All right. Thank you for that clarity. All right, Bonnie.
I see the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make is trying to do it all by yourself. Do not go alone. You will spread yourself too thin, you will get burned out, and you will lose your joy. So surround yourself with like-minded people, surround yourself with mentors and systems, a supportive community, and most importantly, stay close to the fire.
Woo, very cool. And Liz.
I did procrastination.
Oh, that's right, you did. Sorry, Irene. I was
I can tell you more.
Liz, thinking Irene. That's okay. What not to do on a podcast? Call somebody the wrong name.
So I would agree with Liz and Carol. Yeah, waiting for perfection, that perfect website, your programs. If you wait until everything's perfect, you'll never launch. You got to start messy. And my mantra has always been sloppy perfection. Learn as you go and refine along the way. And I think my other one that you definitely want to avoid, and we've all heard this before, is just trying to help everyone, be everything to everyone. Your power is definitely in your niche. When I focused on menopause, hormones, and weight, everything clicked. So that's what you need to do. Concentrate on that one audience, and then other people will come to you anyway.
Very cool. Now, look, I'm going to be passing the mic back over to Mr. Brian Sebastian, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Now, I'm not going to ask you the same question. I'm going to ask you the question that you get to ask everybody, which is so juicy. One is, please share with us the benefit of all the sponsorship. Like, what is the benefit of sponsoring? And my friend, what is your big audacious goal?
Mine took me 6 years to achieve it, was to beat Joe Rogan. October 6th of 2024, I beat him by 35 million views. That's one. The next one is we have over 40 million views and counting on iTube 247 to get to 100 million views, because no one's done that on a site that nobody knows of that goes opposite YouTube. That's hard because nobody really knows of the site out of Franklin, Tennessee. But the thing is, I don't control it. I give them shows, and I have to hope and pray that they put them up. And when they've put them up, then it goes gangbusters, and then I get to share it all around. So it's not perfecting it. I marched at the Drum and Bugle Corps. It was about perfecting the one show. You will never perfect it. Just do it. And don't wait. Terry Marie, my number one co-host, has been with me for 11 years. She goes, well, when I get everything done, I'm going to do this. I'm like, Terry, stop. Just do it. Just write your book, paint, do your podcast show, go do an event, sponsor something, help small mom and pop businesses. Everybody needs help. Reach out. If you're a speaker, reach out outside the U.S., outside your country. There's so many speaking engagements that people don't even think about. That's what that is.
Very cool. Well, I'm handing the mic over to you because you get to ask all these incredible people based on the energy. What it's been like. These people have all showed up, sponsored. What does that look like? Why should people sponsor? I think that is an important thing for our audience to hear, because they hear the word sponsor. I don't think people really understand the power of sponsor. And then let's have them share their big audacious goal, because there's nothing more beautiful than putting it out in the universe and someone's going to hear it today, tomorrow, 6 months from now, and go, I know who that person needs to talk to. So the mic is over to you, my friend.
Irene, you would know what it's like to sponsor. You were at the Oscars. What was that like for you? Because your book stood out to me. I took your book cross country and someone took it from me. I was like, good. I hope it was a woman.
Good. I hope that too as well. Because, let's start with my big, audacious goal. It is to become the global voice for midlife women, on stages, in the media, through my programs and my retreats. And it really is. So women everywhere know that menopause isn't the end. It's the beginning of a powerful new chapter. And yeah, I remember when Deb invited me to join 262 Women, she said, this will open doors. And it's that they opens doors that you didn't even know were closed and that were there in the beginning. So sponsoring that event, being, joining with you, Deb, in 262, it's just been a game changer because it increases your visibility and your credibility, and it puts me alongside other people and other entrepreneurs and other influencers. And it just got my book, as Brian said,
We're going to finish that for her across the country.
Yes.
Hey,
All right.
let me ask you this real quick. Irene, did you have fun?
Oh, absolutely. It took me a while to recuperate after the fun that I had there. So yeah, it was fun, but it was so good, connecting with all these women's and these stars and people that down to earth had questions about menopause and how to survive. And that's able to reach out to that group of women. It enlightened my soul, but it was so invigorating and it was so satisfying too as well.
And Deb, since she mentioned you, you have to go next because you know what it's like to sponsor, and it's a lot. It's heavy. And you're also a mommy manager. So come on, you can't get any more complicated than that, right, Deb?
Oh, mommy managing is a whole other form of sponsorship. But you know what? That's the truth, right? And me, momagers, dadagers, aunagers, unclegers, we all talk and we have conversations behind the stage. But that's a special kind of prideful sponsoring. I think when I first started getting asked to sponsor, I was under the idea that it was way out of my reach, because I'm used to going to sports arenas and concert arenas, and you see these big sponsors and you're like, whoa, that I'm not that. But when I actually, like Irene said, the doors started to open and it was this. Now, it might have been a stretch. I call it the stretch to significance. You're like, if you don't have it, do it, it'll come. And I did a lot of that stretching to sponsor, then it really did come back tenfold. I mean, you heard Ocean talk earlier about an event he's going to be in October. That came from sponsoring the Oscars and the Emmys event. And so it can be scary, it can be a stretch. Sometimes I sponsor and it's totally within my means. And sometimes I don't think about it and say, yes, we're still here. 33 years later, we're still here. And my big audacious goal, I did a really powerful breathwork session with someone who's in 262, Christina Summers. And I had this really big, powerful visualization, and Ocean doesn't even know about it. But I saw me and him on stage of Rogers Arena. If you don't know what it is, it's one of the biggest stadiums, right? And I saw us there talking to the audience what it's like to be in a family business of two. You know what I mean? Like, not like, hey, I have a bakery and I want you to have a bakery. What really it's been like dynamic, and how you can have so much love for both of what you do and just share that. I just saw us on stage sharing with the world the beauty of being in a family, sharing love, sharing all the truth about what it's like to get to the place that you need to get to, both being individuals, but having a main goal, and that main goal being each other's success. So that's my big audacious goal. There you go, Ocean, just to let you know.
From Houston, Texas, Carol.
I'll tell you, my big audacious goal, it almost brings me to tears, is to back up. Why do I sponsor? I could hardly wait to sponsor Ocean's event because I believe in him and I see the potential he has. He has this incredible heart. He speaks to us in so many ways through his art. And I always want to sponsor anyone I can, if it's someone's charitable event, things that touch my heart, that I feel like, whether it's a talent or if it's a charity, whatever it is, I want to spread people's stories globally and touch so many lives that people are connecting where they need to connect. They are learning from one another. And I want it to be millions and millions. It's why I do this. It's why I do a podcast. It's why I hope to, be a co-host with Brian. I want to get on every platform I can and tell as many stories for as many people as possible, that we connect in a manner through AI in every language, through however we do it, so that we can literally transform the world in a positive way. All we hear about is the trouble and what's going on. We do have the ability, through one another's stories and one another's God-given gifts, to share that so people can reach out and help one another and make this incredible change and use entertainment, sponsorship, every way, books, any way we can. I mean, so excited to be with Deb at 262 and be a part of a book that is literally to support women globally. I mean, the more we can do that. So that's why I sponsor. And it's actually kind of cool. I didn't know I'd get such a kick out of seeing my name on a banner, but I did. So that was fun. I just, I love it. I want to learn and grow and serve as long as I'm on this planet. I have less runway ahead of me than I do behind. And I think sponsoring is a way to, I think, have audacious goals. Why not? And take one little step at a time. Anyway, mine is to reach as many people globally and connect as many people as humanly possible.
Liz?
So, by the way, I'm from New York City. I am new to sponsorship, and going to Vancouver and helping sponsor Ocean and the 262, being a 262er now. It's really fascinating. It's really wonderful to help support. I really like the idea of supporting. But for me personally, I think it's really cool to be able to have my brand all of a sudden be an international vision, to be able to be in rooms I never thought about being until I met Deb. It's a very different view of the world, and I think it's fabulous. I think it's attainable. I think it's important because I think we get our message out, whatever that message of service is. We all seem to be serving in one way or another, and so that's kind of where I'm at the beginning of sponsorship, and so I'm learning quite a bit about it. My big audacious goal, I have two. One is to change the face of divorce on the planet. And the other is to have an enormous, amazing, beautiful studio overlooking the ocean where I can do amazing work, and my Enlightened Communication Institute will live, and there'll be all these deep dives of people coming into their own and understanding their mission and their vision and personal breakthroughs and business breakthroughs, and people will be living their lives well, divorcing well, finding their best selves, living that life that is just a choice, really. So that's my, if you know where that might be, tell me.
We'll keep you posted because you never know. Shiraz.
Thank you.
All right. Sponsorships for me, there's two things. It's the supporting something, someone, some business, some cause that you absolutely love. And then there's also the strategy of getting your name out there in front of the people who you want to attract to grow your business. And if you're lucky, they're combined. And so when it comes to sponsorships, there are just some things that I'm all in every single time. Absolutely, I will sponsor you. And there are other things where I'm being very strategic because I want to have that impact and I want the right people to see me. And so those two things factor in. And whenever they join together, that is a no-brainer. I'm in. Let's do this for me every single time.
Melissa.
So I've never been a sponsored. I'm like Liz, very new to this new endeavor. And so I'm going to speak from my heart. I've always been an advocate, from my kids to my disabled sister. Many more avocations there in my corporate life. So switching kind of from avocation to sponsorship, it's been a beautiful process. When this came up, I was very uncertain about it. I didn't know because I kind of just wrote a book and I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know how to market myself. So I really looked into Ocean's work and what it meant. And there's so much meaning behind Ocean's work And as an artist, like I just resonated so deeply with that. And it was such a profound honor to sponsor a company like Nashikashi. I'm sorry, I can't say it properly. That means nostalgia from a place of joy. And sometimes we don't get joy from nostalgia. So as soon as I read about his company and I looked into his clothing and the meanings behind it, I was like 100% in because I believed in him and his artwork. What I didn't realize what it would do for me, the visibility, the credibility, the trust. I have a mission, and that is to help as many people align their head and their heart and stop being at war with themselves and come to a place of self-love. So yeah, that's what sponsorship has done for me. And thank you. Thank you, Deb. And then, my big ambitious goal, my book's a trilogy. So I got 2 more books to write, and I'm putting out there in the world maybe a TV show.
Good for you. Keep writing them. They want a bunch of them. You'll be prepared.
Thanks.
DJ Smooth.
Awesome. I would say I'm going to take a different approach there. I'm actually on the same page as Liz there. I'm newer to sponsorship. Coming from the DJ world, I would say, the sponsorship for us was getting your name on a flyer, right? And we're putting up on social media like, hey, I'm going to be here tonight. And that was like my brand on somebody else's flyer for that club that evening. Getting into sponsorship allowed me to say my first opportunity, I saw my name on the back of a t-shirt, still have it to this day. And I'm like, oh, that's different. Okay, everybody on this shirt at least has one thing in common, putting this event together. And that's when I started learning about community and like, okay, this is something I can jive with. So now I really take sponsorship and I understand that it's bigger than me. It's a collective effort, it's collaboration. It's all of the things that we're talking about and discussing. And it honestly builds those deep long-term relationships. And again, social proof as well too, when people go on your page and see that your brand is next to some others and they stand with that brand, that can do great things for your brand personally there. As far as my goals, I would say the audacious goal that I have is to be continuous a global DJ and to become a figure that impacts millions of DJs, but specifically helping over 100 DJs become global DJs themselves.
Ocean.
What about sponsoring? Same question?
Yep.
I'd say about sponsoring is, I think it's really cool, actually. I mean, look at the event we had for August 9th, all those people who came out to sponsor our event. That was pretty surreal. And I mean, the little goodie bags too that everyone got. But I think sponsoring is super cool because we did it for the Emmys and Oscars lounge. And look at who we met and who we saw you there. We interviewed there. Like, that was so cool, and it feels good that people would sponsor even me, like especially for the August 9th event. That was pretty surreal, and having their we had like a little picture area, and like everyone had their name on the board, and so all the folks came in, you could like see your company's name. But that was really cool, and they came from all over the world, not just like Canada, like from even like East Coast to here. So that was quite amazing. I think it's pretty surreal.
Bonnie.
Oh my gosh. So event sponsorships, I'm also very new to this, but it's already been so powerful for my business because it has put me in front of the right high-level entrepreneurs, media, decision makers. Like, I would not have met any of you otherwise. And so that is so important to me. And in my big goal, I've never admitted this. You guys, I am freaking in love with entrepreneurship. And I don't know if you know, but there's like less than 3% of the global population of women entrepreneurs. My big audacious goal is to help thousands of women step into entrepreneurship, creating wealth and legacy for their families. And I want to see more women like owning land and owning businesses and owning assets that they can pass down to generations.
Yeah, I love it. Ms. England.
That's me. Okay. So I was on mute. So, okay. So when it comes to sponsorships, there are levels that come to sponsorships. So let me say that I absolutely enjoy being a part of and being part of 262. There is a reciprocal energy that comes with this. I have sponsored and been part of other communities, and I pour my money into, and there's no reciprocation. You have to learn though. You go through it, you learn who to and who not to. And even without the reciprocation, sometimes the audacity to ask to pour money back into what they're doing, and there's nothing. I love 262. When I can vibe with communities like this is what it's about. The love. And it starts from the head. Deb is the head. Because she pours down the love, it just it exudes. You can't just stay in this group and not be loving. If you are something, yeah, I don't know, you're gonna feel itchy. You're gonna feel something's not right. Oh Lord, I gotta go. That's because there's so much love up in here, right? Um, and so my most audacious goal or dream or goal is to do something very similar to what Bonnie was saying, because my organization, my nonprofit, we already put women into STEM type categories to help them already uh, build their businesses from home, and to be able to touch 5,000 women and really teach them how to do that. First of all, teaching women how to come back to womanhood, the nurturing, and for those that want to still be women, I'm just talking about that. Nothing against anybody. It's just I'm saying my population, I think it's really important for people to understand their targeted population. And I'm talking about women that have experienced breast engorgement administration. That's what I'm saying. Because we have a lot of stuff going on. It's hard when you raise children and they don't understand why you had to do certain things during the season. It's hard being or coming out of from being a teenage mom and your children not understanding that your body was ready, but you mentally was not prepared. And I want women to be able to not parent out of guilt. We can't change the past, but what we can do is work on making the future better for us and our children. And I want women to understand that what has happened has happened. Apologize, figure it out, but let's do something to make sure the legacy, that all those benefits can continue on, to make sure that, when we're gone, our babies, our grandchildren, our generations to come are good. Thank you.
Reach one, teach one, empower one, right?
That's it. Oh, you saw that, huh?
Hey, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. Mark Harder.
I would say with sponsorship on the business side of getting sponsors or being a sponsor, it's simply getting in front of each other's audiences. And ideally, I think sponsorship should involve some kind of cause, something bigger than if it's 2, 3, 4 companies. So people not only understand what you do, but they understand what you stand for. So you're helping people with the event, with whatever it might be. And as far as a big audacious goal, I want not like daytime fluff TV, interviewing A-list Hollywood celebrities about how they overcome obstacles and advice they have for viewers and listeners, so it can inspire people to say, God, if they could do that in Hollywood, I can start a business in Wisconsin. I can become a life coach in New York. I can start a business in Florida, just to show if they can get that done in a crazy ass place like Hollywood. Imagine what you can do with where you're from when it comes to chasing dreams and starting your own business.
Who's the one celebrity you want to interview?
It's a twofold because they're both crazy, crazy beasts of entrepreneurs, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. I'll get it for you. Amanda.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, sponsorship is, I think, coming towards the end. Everybody's kind of said everything, but for me, it is about supporting people and events that you believe in. And these events cannot happen without the sponsors. And that's just it. So if you want these things to happen, if you want to bring awareness to causes, if you want to support things, I've supported women's groups and, things like that, because I want those events to happen. I want to bring awareness to those things. And the visibility you get for your business is just a benefit from that. Big audacious goal. I just got one a month ago, I became an international speaker. I was in Ireland speaking at an event. So I was interviewed on a podcast yesterday, and they asked what that goal was. And I just got my first 100 downloads on my podcast. So I said, I'm going to have 100,000 downloads by the end of the year. So there you go.
Good for you. Congratulations. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Kathy Holt.
Okay, well, I've actually been a sponsor for decades, which we won't go there, but I really do believe in part it's almost a social responsibility, and it shows my commitment to opening platforms and collaborating with voices that might not get heard otherwise or might not get the spotlight and or have a focus. And I really do believe that if I can, I should. And to open up these places and avenues for others to also get visibility. Yes, it gives me visibility, and that is definitely a big plus. But I think a lot of what motivates me is really opening up spaces for other people. I mean, I did it at the Emmys, I did it at the Oscars, I did it in Vancouver. I've done it for a multitude of organizations because it's what I believe in. And it reflects on me and how I can collaborate with others and bring them to the forefront. I don't always have to be in the forefront. I want to open up those spaces for others. My big audacious goal, and I've said this to many of you already, is I am on a mission to create a movement of women to change this world. In some groups, I say to take over the world, because I really do think we need the women energy, the kind of leadership that they have and the way they lead to really right this ship at this point.
I love that last night's show was about women. It wasn't about Howard. It wasn't about myself. It never is. It's about women, because without you, we don't have anything. That's how I say that. And some guys don't like it. I don't care, but that is the case. Carmen, you're the last one. And the reason why I want to ask you is because behind the scenes, you could see a lot of things going on. I think that's important. What do you see?
Oh, I knew you were going to do this to me again. So I think that sponsorship is twofold. What you choose to sponsor speaks to what you value and your business values. And on the second part of that, it says, I'm serious about my business. You know, you're making the investment. You're putting your name and your business name forward. You're trying to let the world know what you do. It really is a matter of saying, I'm serious about this. I'm serious about the impact that I'm going to make. And then for a goal for me, it's a little bit fuzzy. It's not quite as defined as I would like it to be. But the biggest challenge that most of us have is not a lack of funds, a lack of resources, a lack of talent, or a lack of time. It's actually the conversation that's happening between our two ears. And so my goal is to make as many people as possible aware of the conversation that's happening between their two ears and change it. Rewire that conversation so that it's positive and it's focused on what's possible, not what you think is impossible. So,
Deb, you can't get any better than that, can you?
Wow. I mean, I feel full. Do you know what I mean by that? But look, before we sign off, we're going to go do two things here, because you're not going to get away with this. We're going to lay it out. Everybody had an opportunity for audacious goals. And there's a couple of people that talked about sponsorship, and then whoop. So Ocean, I'm going to talk to you, and Shiraz, you're going to go next, and then we're going to wrap this party. Mr. Ocean Baker, what is your big audacious goal?
I'll say we'll have like retail stores. I think that's a super big goal of mine. I had that since like the beginning of doing this, and then also having people. I mean, yet again, like wearing my clothing. I always think that's so cool. Like seeing people, even actually we saw somebody on the Sky Train have like the hat on, which is I'm wearing today. So that was really cool, and like continuing that, and like maybe one day, hopefully seeing somebody like Drake or Snoop Dogg like wearing my clothing would be pretty crazy. That's a pretty big goal I have right now. So seeing somebody like those two, and even like The Weeknd, like he's another Canadian artist. So I think that would be super crazy, because like I mean it those names are it'd be for real, like unreal.
You can't even say them. You're so excited. Okay, so we got Drake, Snoop, and The Weeknd. And Shiraz, you are going to wrap this party, my friend. I want to know, what is that big audacious goal, Mr. Superman?
So my big passion is empowering women coaches to have a big impact in the world. And that's why I sponsored a bunch of women to speak at the 262 conferences. And so in the next 5 years, one of the things I found is a lot of women undervalue and therefore underprice themselves. And once you tap into your value, you can have a much bigger impact and bigger income. So it's to get 100 women to $1 million business in the next 5 years.
All right. So look I'm going to, Brian, I'm going to let you say a few things, but I want to talk to the audience right now because our audience has been so generous with their time. You hung in here with us. You know how this works. Share, 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 and share. And our analytics show us all over the world. We're rock stars in Ireland, Amanda, so they're going to be happy to hear you come back. Please share. And if you want to be sitting here, if you have a message, if you have a passion, if you have a project, if you have a nonprofit, if you know Snoop Dogg, if you want to be $1 million, first of all, contact the people that you heard today. There's nothing more rewarding. You don't have to buy their services. Just say that you heard them. There's nothing more rewarding than having someone listen and hear and be inspired by what you do. That checks all of the boxes. Second is, if you want to be sitting here, this is not difficult. You go to a website, I don't know, write this down. It's called debdrummond.com, and just click through and have a conversation and get yourself on here and say what you need to say and do what you need to do. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this party up. I'm going to toss it back to you, Brian, to take us out this evening because you are the official co-host. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let you close the show, my friend. And then we're going to see everybody again here, same time next week.
Same time, same bat channel. And mission was accepted. So, the fun thing about this, it's been fascinating seeing everybody and hearing them. The smiling faces is just nothing but positivity. I like that. Unfortunately, it's not common, but it is our jobs to bring more light into the world, because there's a lot of people suffering. How do I know? I travel and I actually go into their homes and I help them. And my job is to lead them better than when I last found them. And I always say this on my show on closing, because it's important. Have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I am Brian Sebastian. I am Movie Reviews and More. This is Deb Drummond, and you are all of you, and you are all special. We will see you next week.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.